Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fuck My Life episode 22. How are you doing, Ryan?
It was a rough day yesterday for me. Well, I mean, every day that I'm continuing to be on this earth seems to be a little bit of a rough day in parts, but my Chicago Bears season came to an end last night, kind of in heartbreaking fashion, in overtime, a little bit rough. Good season, but not fun. So I was not exactly feeling very good last night. And then I get to talk about it every stream I'm on today, which is the best part. That's the best part about it, is reliving it every single moment, every single stream. I love it. It's so great.
Yeah, well, it's important. Everybody's, doing a mental health check on you. You threaten to jump off of a bridge all the time. So,
No, they are not doing a mental health check. They are trying to incite me to kill myself. There is a big difference. They want to remind me of that. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I'm only asking because I want to remind you of your team's failures, but...
Yeah, I heard you laughed when you found out about it.
I did laugh. I would have told you I laughed. I was proud of it. I'm proud to laugh at your misery. But I apologize to anybody in the chat if they were your team. They lost. My condolences, sorrows, prayers. Sorry to hear about that. But for Ryan, I don't give a fuck. But it'll be okay, because now you get to talk about dumb shit like Relooted, the game where every thief is black. And
I mean, it actually sounds right up my alley.
It comes out
as long as I get to play as the police.
It comes out a couple weeks. Maybe we can get you to actually play that game. I think it's got co-op.
Really?
I think in theory we can play it. God.
I would maybe play that. I would maybe play Relooted.
The chat is going to be glorious. That's for sure.
What's that one game that is like you're actually like a border patrol agent or an ICE agent or something? It's supposed to be coming out like later next year or this year or something.
So no, you're hopping the border.
No. I'm not talking about that one.
You mean the counter one?
Yes. There is like a Steam game where you play like a border patrol agent and you're like hunting down illegals and shit. I want to play that game.
That was made in response, though, to Take Us North, I believe, right?
Maybe. It looked fucking...
Kind of like Yasuke Simulator, how that was like made in response to Shadows.
Yes, but this is like... It looks like a much better game than...
Yeah.
Like, it looks like a much more well-made game than Yasuke Simulator. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get that.
Let's see if I can find it.
I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but... we definitely can get you to stream that one. That's for sure. You're gonna have a blast with that. But guys, we're gonna be talking about Relooted. We're gonna be talking about Kathleen Kennedy because, I mean, it's good, but Star Wars and Lucasfilm can't be saved. So it really, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't even matter. It's funny though. We're gonna be talking about Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, which. I'm surprised, Ryan, you forced yourself to watch that.
Well, I didn't force myself to watch that. I was forced by Gary, by Nerdrotic, because we had to review it for FNT. So I was assigned to watch it. It's not like I just made the decision to put myself through that.
Now you get to watch all the other episodes.
That is one of the worst things I've fucking ever seen. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I found Border Patrol Simulator.
Oops.
So
there you go.
Dude, this is freaking awesome. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So it still doesn't have a release date, but have you seen this?
Yes, I think so.
shit. You've got an illegal immigrant who's like raping an underage child down there or something.
It reminds me when they go into the house of like paranormal games. Now you got the flashlight, you gotta be careful around the corners, checking behind you. Holy shit.
Now, I know he's just got a taser. I really hope you can just pull out a gun and shoot this dude in the head, right? Like,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's what I'm hoping.
I think that the theme of it is already pushing the limits with platforms like Steam. Being able to just kill them is, I think, would probably get it banned.
So we'll see. I hope it. I hope that maybe it happens at some point, but we'll see.
That doesn't have a date, though, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No, well, watch it never come out.
I mean, it could not come out, but
yeah, but that's actually very, very fun. I don't think I've seen that. I think that I had heard of it, but I didn't actually watch the full-blown trailer. But
yeah,
damn.
Looks cool.
I guess so, yeah. We'll see if it ever comes out, though. Hey, Zeus, thank you for the 2. Fuck my life. Yeah. That is life. Life sucks and then you die. You gotta get used to it. Megasheen, thank you for the dono. Ryan, I have to tell you this. 20 years ago, Brie Larson was at my house. She was a friend of my brother's. She even used my bathroom mom.
I assume you just mean your bathroom.
Yeah.
But hey, there you go. That's a story you can tell people. Brie Larson used your bathroom 20 years ago. So congratulations.
I mean, I don't know. Is it very special that a YouTuber was in your bathroom? Probably not.
Well, no, the star of the Marvels. I mean, that's a big thing.
Oh, who even remembers the Marvels these days except for us?
I do. I made a lot of money off the Marvels.
That's true,
and I helped turn Brie Larson around, like her personal life. So got a lot invested in Brie Larson, continuing down the good path. So
exactly. And how many movies do you think Brie Larson's going to be in the near future?
She really has her pick. She can do whatever she wants with her life, you know?
Fair enough. But all right, guys, I know that this is a topic we both already talked about. Really, really funny. I'm sure people are going to ask us. So let's talk about it. Kathleen Kennedy is officially leaving Lucasfilm. Dave Filoni and Linwin, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Brennan will take over leadership duties. Now, you've got on one hand Dave Filoni, who's a fucking cuck, and then this chick who is an activist. Ryan, what was your initial reaction to this?
My initial reaction was like, yeah, we knew this was happening about a year ago when Matt Bellani, former editor of The Hollywood Reporter, came out and said, hey, within about the next year, Kathleen Kennedy is officially going to step down at some point. Look, Kathleen Kennedy, I know we went through 5 years ago of some YouTubers claiming to have sources that were never real about some fake civil war and that Kathleen Kennedy was getting fired any day now and all this stuff. It was never going to happen. It would be one thing, like this announcement, if this had happened 5 years ago and it was that Kathleen Kennedy had been fired and replaced, not by Dave Filoni, but by someone who's actually competent, like maybe it would be an important announcement because it would be an understanding that we have made a massive misstep. We have failed and we're trying to right the ship. Instead, you know, this is not Kathleen Kennedy being fired. This is Kathleen Kennedy leaving on her own terms when she's good and ready. She's in her fucking 70s. She's old. She was not going to be running Lucasfilm until the day she died, obviously. And she handpicked her replacements. She handpicked Dave Filoni and Lin-Win Brennan. Dave Filoni for the creative stuff and Lin-Win Brennan to basically do the managerial side of things, running the business side of things.
Right.
Because obviously Dave Filoni has no concept of like how that works. And Lin-Win Brennan has no concept of the creative side of stuff. So it's common for Disney to have these dual heads, kind of what Kevin Feige and Luis D'Esposito do for Marvel. But nothing is going to change. Dave Filoni has been on board with everything that they've done. Dave Filoni was on board with The Acolyte. He helped with The Acolyte. He was on board with the Kenobi show. And obviously all the stuff that he directly is involved in making, like all the Mandalorian and his dog shit Ahsoka. I do have to say, I had some people that were telling me I needed to put you in line for the title of your video when this happened, Vera. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Was the title of your video Kathleen Kennedy fired?
I think that might. I don't remember off the top of my head what exactly the title of my video is, but maybe, yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy fired. And I had people tagging me say, "Hey, you got to
Bye.
put her ass in line."
Ooh, wow.
Kathleen Kennedy was not fired.
People are upset with my title. Oh man, sorry guys. If
They're
I
upset
ever
that
find
you were
a
a liar.
fuck to give, I'll let you know.
They're upset that you lied to the fans, Vera.
Damn, well, you still showed up for this episode of Fuck My Life, so you couldn't be that bothered by it. That's for sure. But yeah, no.
Correct you.
Exactly. But I mean, I agree, obviously, that like, I think that we've known for like at least, it's got to be right around a year now that it was coming to the end of her time at Lucasfilm and that she was eventually going to leave. And of course, she's never going to do anything else in Hollywood again. Why the fuck would she? But I think we all kind of expected someone like Dave Filoni to at least in part take over, and that's exactly what happened here. And is anything going to change? No, like Lucasfilm is trash. It's not like we've got two brand new faces on the scene that might give us something better. No, these people are just going to continue to push the same shit over and over. But for anybody, I guess, who hasn't heard of it yet, after 14 years of overseeing Star Wars under Disney, Kennedy's exit marks the end of one of the most controversial leadership tenors in modern franchise history. While industry trades are framing the transition as a long-planned succession designed to recapture the studio stride, the reality is far less flattering and more damaging. Kennedy is not stepping aside at the height of the success, leaving behind a franchise that has shrunk in cultural relevance, fractured its fan base, and lost its standing as a true theatrical event. Yeah, like, I mean, okay, in the video game industry, we have seen destruction on such a massive, widespread scale, but Disney is the worst in Hollywood, at least in my opinion, at this point in time. Like, I can't think of another company that comes this close, or IP that has been so destroyed so quickly as what's happened to Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And I mean, even going outside of that and just to Disney in general, even like the live action adaptations that have just fallen off of a cliff.
Yeah, and like the reason that like some people that are even like the trades are like Star Wars shakeup, and some people are like, oh, big changes. It's like, it's not big changes. If you can share my screen, I can show you like why it's not big changes. Like, this is the current structure of Lucasfilm, and they haven't updated it yet. Like, you can tell how important it is to them. They haven't even updated it yet. But
I didn't even check the site, so I didn't even realize that they haven't changed yet. I figured they probably would have right off the bat.
Honestly, this is not the biggest priority for them. If you remember,
no, but it's so funny. It should take 5 minutes.
When Dave Filoni got promoted to chief creative officer, it took 2 years to update this leadership thing, to the point where when it did get updated, people thought that he like had just got a big promotion. It actually happened like 2 years prior to that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so Kathleen Kennedy was president of Lucasfilm. Lin-Win Brennan was the president and general manager of the business side of Lucasfilm. Dave Filoni was executive vice president / chief creative officer. So overseeing everything in the creative space. That was what Dave Filoni's job was. Now, this person goes away. Dave Filoni moves up here, continues to do exactly the same thing he was doing before, hands on everything creatively. And Lin-Win Brennan continues to do the exact same thing she was doing before in handling all the business side of things. Like, this is nothing changing. If you are happy with the last 5 or 6 years of Disney Star Wars, then I guess you're going to be happy for the status quo to remain. If you are unhappy with the current state of Disney Star Wars, you are going to continue to be unhappy, because you've gotten everything that you have gotten has Dave Filoni's fingerprints all over it.
Right.
Period. Like, Leslie Headland and Dave Filoni did a sit down and talked about how incredible The Acolyte was and how influential he was in helping Leslie Headland along the way with it. Deborah Chow, who did the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, said the same thing, that the most important people at Lucasfilm with her when she made the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was Dave Filoni. because he was the one she went to and had any discussions about lore or story or what you do here, what should you do here. It was Dave Filoni. This has been his job for forever. The people who have been coping about this stuff pretend like, well, Kathleen Kennedy's really just pulling the strings and he's just doing what she wants. No, Dave Filoni is a feminist cuck. He is a woke pile of shit. He is more Forces female than she has ever been. Truthfully, that's the case. And some people just don't know who Dave Filoni is. They don't know that he stood up there in 2018 in a feminist conference and shit all over fans for not liking Mary Sue characters like Rey.
Right, just because he's a guy doesn't mean that he's got respect for the male audience, and that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, he is a massive woke believer. That is who he is. And maybe you like some of the stuff that's come out. Maybe you didn't recognize some of the underlying storytelling from him before. But if you just watch everything from Clone Wars to Rebels to obviously all the stuff they've been doing now, just look at the amount of strong female, almost Mary Sue type characters that pop up, whether it is Ahsoka, whether it is Sabine Wren, right? The focus on characters like Bo-Katan, which Mandalorian entirely shifted to in season 3. Dave Filoni loves female characters, and he loves female characters that can do everything. He loves female characters that he claims are flawed, but in reality are just good at everything that they do. He loves Rey. He loves the character of Rey and is saying Rey's praises over and over again. Dave Filoni is the one in the room when they were coming up with the plans for the sequel trilogy, whose idea it was for femininity to subvert masculinity, for the matriarchy to subvert the patriarchy, and how powerful that would be to trick the audience into believing that Luke would be more important than he actually was, but instead that Leia would be the important part of the sequels. It was Dave Filoni who came up with these ideas. That is well documented, and a lot of people want to ignore that. But the reality is, Kathleen Kennedy, over a year ago, recommended Dave Filoni and Lin-Manuel Brennan to take over. And Disney said, we're comfortable with that, but we want Dave Filoni to get more actual live action experience before he takes that position. It's like, okay, he'll get more experience.
How long has Dave Filoni been with Lucasfilm now?
Since 2000. Well, obviously he was hired to work on Clone Wars, and the movie came out in 2008. So he was probably hired in like 2006 or something when they started production on that. So he's been with him 20 years. Yeah.
I mean, it is a long time, which that doesn't mean though that he is the best for this fucking position, or that like he's going to magically turn things around, because clearly that's not going to happen. He's had ample opportunity, and yes, I get it, right? A lot of the direction that Lucasfilm has gone in is because of Kathleen Kennedy. This Forces female bullshit was Kathleen Kennedy, but he has been on board with it this whole entire time.
Yes, and I know there's some people that will still buy, because look, there has been propaganda for years. For years, we've had propaganda about Dave Filoni coming from people who don't like the direction of Star Wars, some who genuinely like Dave Filoni, some who just saw him as a different option than Kathleen Kennedy. It's why we had fake news, fake scoops, liars who were trying to claim that there was some civil war between Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy, all the while Filoni continued to get like promotion after promotion after promotion, right? He got more authority to do what he wanted, like all these things. It had nothing to do with the Civil War. It has everything to do with Dave Filoni is on the same page as Kathleen Kennedy. And if you don't believe that, if you've never heard Dave Filoni, if you've never heard any of this shit, just listen to this man. This is who some of you people out there, some of you retards out there are claiming is a savior and is fucking fighting against Kathleen Kennedy's agenda at Lucasfilm. This is him.
This is what we tried to do with the Star Wars saga now. We've tried to create more female characters who can represent so many things, because what we're trying to do isn't just create one type of character. We're trying to create a diverse range of characters, especially female characters that are strong, that are independent. When you look at Rey, on The Force Awakens, she's a female lead in a whole new chapter of the Star Wars saga. We haven't done a movie for 10 years, and here comes a Star Wars film, and here comes Rey. And what is it? Is it Panic in the Streets? Oh my gosh, a female lead in a Star Wars movie. And then the trailer for Rogue One comes out, and it's another female lead. Oh my gosh. How unfair. We've had probably like 2 million straight film cinematic roles where men have been leads, and now we've done 2 in a row that are women. Well, too bad. Oh well. Maybe there are more coming. I don't know. This is this idea that like, and I run into this sometimes when working with writers. It's like, well, we just made one of those. Made one of what? We just made a female lead. We can make another one. Really? Yes, we can. There's more than one woman in the world. There's more than one woman here in the world. Why is that so strange? If we made like 5 men heroes in a row, no one would blink. You know.
Yeah, because the male characters are written way fucking better. That's why.
And you could make that. You could say, well, we don't care. It's a female character. We care about that. Well, Dave Filoni loves the way that Rey is written. He loves Mary Sue Ray.
Rey. She impresses Han Solo. He's like the guy's guy, impresses him, impresses everybody in the audience. She goes up with Kylo Ren. She punks him right away. Like he's supposed to be this great guy, wiped out all these people. I don't know. She took that lightsaber and was like, I'm going to take you out. And she did. And I'm all for it. And she looks strong. It's not that she doesn't show any fear. She looks like this is an intense moment in her life. And we're there with her because of that, because she's a real feeling dimensional person. That's what we want, a real feeling dimensional person. We are trying to create an environment where it's my hope. The kind of just like Luke, all he did was open that door, right? He just opened that door, let Leia out, and she's went gangbusters. So I just want to be a part at Lucasfilm of opening this door to a new generation of filmmakers, of women that come into Lucasfilm and can be creative. It's a strong future for Star Wars. Our force for women characters, strong women characters, intelligent women characters of all description. It won't just stop with 2 movies. It's something we're dedicated to for the foreseeable future.
Now, when you hear those things that were said, in 2018, 2019, whatever, is it really a surprise that so much focus then gets put on, I would say, Bo-Katan in The Mandalorian? Is it really a surprise that Ahsoka has such a fucking prominent role all throughout Star Wars now? Is it really a surprise? And this is what I mean. People don't know this about Dave Filoni. Some people have never heard this lisping fucking queer speak. They think that, well, if he's doing these things, it must just because Kathleen Kennedy. This is always who he's been. It's always how he is. This is Dave Filoni. So if you think that, like, well, there's been too much maybe of a feminist agenda or too much, they're trying to turn Star Wars into a girl's brand. If you think that about the Kathleen Kennedy tenure, just wait until Dave Filoni has full authority to do anything he wants whenever he wants. Lucasfilm, over the past 5 or 6 years, Dave Filoni has had his hands on basically every creative project from them.
Right. It's not like, oh, he's helped a little here, a little there. No, he's a big part of all of these pieces of trash.
Yes. So, like, I know there's some people that are still blinded and still think he's the savior and stuff. And a lot of you have been gaslit by people that are telling you that. And I get it. Stop being retarded. And listen to what he's saying and look at what he's done.
Right. Exactly. Because it's like, I don't want to sit here, right, and say Star Wars can't be safe because, as we've established many times, I previously had loved Star Wars, you previously had loved Star Wars, but there's no fucking shot that it's going to get any better just because 1 or 2 people change, or 1 or 2 people are put into these new positions or put into these new roles. If they were complete randoms, brand new to the scene, first time we're ever hearing their name, yeah, I'd even have slightly more faith because, sure, it's not like Dave Filoni's only created trash, but the majority of the modern work that he's done is terrible. Now, how can you have any sort of level of faith in that? I just don't get it.
And I mean, and I think a lot of the things that people love that Dave Filoni has had creative involvement in, I think most of that is not actually watched by that many people, and the people that watch it have a little bit,
I like Clone Wars,
skewed feelings about it because of when they watched it or because nostalgia or something. I think it's highly overrated. There is way more bad Clone Wars episodes than there are good Clone Wars episodes, and it's not even fucking close.
Oh, I agree. I think that I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 by any means, but I like it. It's good enough for me to say I like it, but
I think the Clone Wars is basically the worst thing that George Lucas ever had involvement in, period. And I would include the holiday special in that because Clone Wars does far more damage than the holiday special does. And Dave Filoni was not the like, oh, he totally had control over every single thing, that he was highly involved in the Clone Wars.
Right.
With a lot of other people writing, a lot of other people that wrote scripts for it. Like Dave Filoni didn't write all Clone Wars episodes. He wrote very few in general, but he oversaw everything. And I just like, look at that. That picture tells you fucking everything.
Oh God, damn, that's a fucking jump scare. Leslie Headland and Dave Filoni together. My God, probably the first time he's ever touched a woman, though. At least that's what I would assume.
I mean, he's got a wife who's like,
I don't believe. No, yeah,
like he's definitely sucked a lot of dicks and taken a lot of dicks in the ass.
That's a Michael Obama situation. I don't fucking believe any other way.
Maybe. He sounds gay, so.
Oh, he's right up there with Jason Schreier. Have you ever heard Jason Schreier speak?
No.
Oh my fucking God, it's
Jason Schreier
terrible.
looks like he can't go within 200 feet of a playground, though.
I 100% agree, but I'll see if I can find a video in a minute or two. But oh my God, he sounds gay as fuck. But as you know, as the article says, it brings up things like The Acolyte and Ahsoka, all series that have either completely bombed or they're desperate to make happen, like Ahsoka. Ahsoka got a, I don't want to say big normie audience, but it got some more normies interested in it than something like The Acolyte. Like you mentioned with the Clone Wars, like member berries.
Not much more.
Not much more, true, but a couple more.
The Acolyte or Ahsoka was a ratings failure.
Yeah,
they expected it, especially with promoting it. They released it in theaters, the Anakin episode and all this stuff. They thought it was going to be way bigger than it was, and it was a continued downward trend of losing the audience.
I also think, and I don't think we've ever heard this, is just complete speculation for me, that they had to sign Rosario Dawson for multiple seasons in a row, at least 2, to get her to do it at all, which who knows. But either way, like, you're correct. Having 5 more viewers per one show compared to the other doesn't mean that it's some massive sweeping success. Yeah. But we're talking about failure after failure after failure. And when Kathleen Kennedy had recently, I'm not going to say got fired, because apparently that triggers people, retired, strategically exited the company.
I will. There is a big difference. Like the idea that Kathleen Kennedy would be fired, like that would mean something.
Yeah, no, like, I get it.
But she wasn't. She, like, it is the opposite of that. She stayed as long as she fucking wanted until she's in her mid-70s and finally said, hey, I want to keep, producing some movie stuff, but I'm done running the day-to-day stuff for Lucasfilm. I'm ready to hand this down to people that I trust and to hand select people and make my way out and transition to them. That's a very different thing than fired.
Yeah. No, I agree. But Kathleen Kennedy has attacked Star Wars fans in the exit interview, saying, I wouldn't change anything. And after just with this headline alone, of course she's going to say that. Of course she wouldn't fucking change anything. She got her way the entire time. It's not like she ever got any pushback. It's not like she ever, well, she got pushback from the fans, but internally, it's not like she ever got pushback internally. She never cared about the fans. She never respected the fans' opinions. And her goal was always to reinvent Indiana Jones and Star Wars and basically every single thing that she touched. Of course, she wouldn't change anything. But when asked directly about the lows of running Lucasfilm, Kennedy did not point to creative misfire, stalled film projects, or the franchise's diminished cultural impact. Instead, she framed fan dissatisfaction as the core problem. The lows are that you've got a very, very small percentage of the fan base that has enormous expectations, and basically they want to continue to see pretty much the same thing. Why the fuck are you changing the recipe if the final product that you've cooked is good? If that brings people in, why are you so worried about changing it? Like, of course they want to see the same thing, because that same thing is what made you fucking money in the first place. That's what people were happy with.
Yeah, and once again, like using the exit interview to go after fans and claim, well, it's a very, very tiny microscopic portion of the fan base that's unhappy. They just so happen to be very loud. There is a group that applies to, but you're using it the wrong people. The group that it applies to are the people that wanted the second season of The Acolyte. It's the shippers, it's the weirdos, it's the pronouns and bios, it's the freaks, it's the degenerates, it's the queers. Though that's the very small percentage of the fucking fan base that is very, very loud on social media. The problem is you're trying to ascribe it to the general audience, which is overall very unhappy. How is the health of the Star Wars franchise right now as it was compared to a decade ago? They have lost a significant amount of the general normie audience who aren't going to announce that they're going away. They're just going to stop fucking watching. Those are the people that are unhappy with the state of Star Wars.
Yep. I 100% agree. She continued, and if you're not going to do that, then you know going in that you're going to disappoint them. I'm not sure there's anything you can do about that because you can't please everybody. And this is true. You can't please everybody, but at the same time, you're basically pleasing nobody. But if your viewership goes down 95 fucking percent and nobody's tuning in, nobody's talking about it on social media unless they're pointing and laughing at it, then yeah, of course you need to go back to the drawing board and figure out, well, what is actually going to turn things around. Now, I don't know if they could ever turn things around. I guess in theory, right, if they actually hired half-talented people, not that there's many left in Hollywood nowadays, even the video game industry struggling with that, but maybe if they hired like actual fans and people who knew the material and actually gave a fuck, things could maybe be turned around, but even that is like wishful thinking.
So here's the thing. Dave Filoni knows a lot about Star Wars.
He does, yeah, but he doesn't give a fuck.
I'm never going to pretend like he doesn't. The problem is he has absolutely no respect for maintaining continuity of any sort. He just wants to do his own thing. Even Ahsoka. He said, was it season 4 behind the scenes of Clone Wars where he said, famously, George and I have disagreed about Ahsoka. George wants Ahsoka to die, and I want Ahsoka to live. And this is while George Lucas still owned Lucasfilm and stuff. What happens as soon as George Lucas sells it, Dave Filoni starts writing ways for her to survive. Right. That's the type of thing I'm talking about, where he has absolutely no respect. Even though he knows a lot, he doesn't care about changing things. And look, there's a couple things that need to happen with Star Wars if you want it to be fixed. It needs to go on about a 5 to 10 year hiatus period with nothing coming out. Everything that's come out since Disney bought it needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. I don't care if you like Andor. I don't care if you like Rebels. I don't care if you like Mandalorian season 1, but not season 2 and 3. All of it needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. You clean house at Lucasfilm and you come back with you get a plan, you hire some people, you come up with an actual, hey, how are we going to do this? Let's work all this stuff out. And you come back nearly a decade later when you haven't had Star Wars on the screen or on streaming for a decade, and you apologize to fans by wiping the slate clean and you start fresh. That's the only way that you can fix it.
Yep, I agree. But will that happen? Of course not, because, well, all of these people are exactly the fucking same. There's nobody with different opinions at these companies. There's nobody who gives a fuck about what actual fans want. And sadly, this is just the state of Star Wars. In Lucasfilm in general, it sucks. It really does. But yeah, I mean, Dave Filoni is not going to fucking change anything for the better. He's never cared. But, it is what it is. I know Jesus had asked Ryan and Vera, what's the future of Disney Star Wars? Trash.
Ahsoka, and Grand Admiral Thrawn, and female characters.
Yeah. Acolyte 2.0. That's what we're going to get in the near future. I don't know if it will necessarily get worse because it's already basically at the bottom of the barrel, but I guess in theory, anything could get worse.
Well, what I would say is, I don't think the quality is going to get any better, but every bad entry you have, even if it's the same as the other stuff, if you take Star Wars, and I think all of us viewed Star Wars as a little bit differently than Disney Star Wars, but for every entry that you have, for every bad entry to Star Wars that you have, and now that there's so much more bad Star Wars than good Star Wars, you're doing damage, Yeah. Even just put in another product that's the same as the last product, it still is doing damage.
Mm-hmm. Bullet Shepherd, thank you for the $9.99. That Filoni clip was so gay. It came through my screen and compelled me to tell all my friends that I don't like girls and go make a game for the UK about extremism. Sounds very stunning and brave. Yeah, he does definitely sound gay as fuck in that clip. But I mean, I think that his speech has only gotten worse over the years. I think the soy has really gone to his brain now.
He hasn't got any straighter, I'll tell you that.
That's for sure. Young Stove, thank you for the 2. Filoni got his wet dream Ahsoka riding a wolf. Fuck my life.
He's obsessed with wolves.
Now Filoni's gonna get all of his dreams. The probably 3 roadblocks that existed before now no longer exist.
The one thing that was announced in that, so it feels like Kathleen Kennedy pretty much reported to Bob Iger. Now, Alan Bergman still is in charge of a lot of stuff, but it felt like she reported to Bob Iger. Specifically, Filoni and Lin-Manuel Brennan are going to be reporting to Alan Bergman, who then reports to Bob Iger. So it does look like there will be a little more of a middleman scenario in maybe limiting some of the things they greenlight. Maybe because they just don't have as much trust for them or whatever. Or just there isn't as good of a relationship between like Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger know each other, you know? So
right. Yeah. You're yeah, it's true. Dave, thank you for the 2. 28 years later, Bone Temple was trash. Fuck my life. I've heard decent things about it. I think Hypernauts, right? Hypernauts. You had said that it was good, so I've heard mixed things. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched it yet. I will, but I don't know if you have any interest in it, Ryan.
I have zero interest in it. I've heard good things though. I've heard good things about it. But the problem is I don't care because I was really excited for 28 years later, the first one. Yeah. I really liked the trailer. I was hyped for it. I was excited for it. And I was really disappointed in the movie. I think it was like well acted and well shot and all, but it's like I was watching a different movie than I was advertised. And I didn't like what they decided to focus on. I really would have loved, more of like the father-son stuff. That's what it felt like it was going to be from the trailer. It's not what they gave us. And so I have no interest in Bone Temple. I'm glad it's good. I hope people like it, but I'm not going to waste my time after being fucked over by the first one.
I'll watch it by sailing the high seas, but I won't monetarily support it. I'm good on that front. Flag Ninja, thank you for the 1 month. I grew up watching and loving Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. Now we have Starfleet Academy. Fuck my life. It's bad. It's very, very bad.
Genuinely, it's worse than The Acolyte.
I mean, it's close.
It is a worse product than The Acolyite. Yeah. I mean, I find Acolyte...
And that's fucking monumentally bad.
I find The Acolyte, like massively more like offensive because of like the damage that it does. Something I care about. I don't care about Star Trek though. Just in the same way that I could say, like that, like Rings of Power is really bad. There's like worse fucking television shows out there, certainly than Rings of Power. But because the damage that it does to something like Lord of the Rings, it's like that is fucking really, really bad in terms of how bad it is compared to the level of damage it does. It might not be the worst thing on TV, but it might do the most damage. I feel the same way about something like The Acolyte. This is really fucking bad. Starfleet Academy is one of the worst things I've ever been forced to watch.
It is. That's true. It's trying to be like Discovery and Star Wars smashed together. Unfortunately, the problem is that Star Trek has basically they've tried to make Star Trek into Star Wars and modern Star Wars. And it's fucking horrendous. I guess we'll talk about that now, but thank you so much for the 1 month. Of course, you did watch it. Ryan, you don't have too much of a basis for Star Trek knowledge, which is fine because you can still surely appreciate the level of quality that went into this, right?
So I'm not big into Star Trek. To put it in perspective, I've watched the original series. I've watched like the original movies, back in the day. And I have watched the J.J. Abrams new ones, which are, don't count as real. It's a reboot or whatever. The Kelvin timeline or whatever the fuck. But I've watched a handful of episodes of Next Generation in my life. Never really got into it. Never watched Deep Space Nine. Never watched Voyager. I certainly haven't watched like Star Trek Discovery or any of that other shit going on.
Section 31.
I have watched Section 31 because I was supposed to review that.
Oh,
and I had no idea what's
all
going
right.
on.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, oh, wow, this Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid, that shouldn't be a female. That doesn't make it. I don't know anything about the lore side of shit. I don't know what the fucking burn is. I don't understand these people behind their fucking wall or what. I don't get a lot of that stuff that's going on in the show that other people who are like Star Trek experts can pick up on. But my God, is it cringe?
It really, really is. And, you know, I think that Star Trek is just like Star Wars, kind of past the point of no return. But whenever people, of course, criticize these shit products, whenever people who are established fans criticize the decisions that have been made, you know, we see what the reaction is. The gays that love it on social media, all 5 of them, attack us. The access media blames us, calls us bigots. That exact thing is happening right now. I've seen, besides the posts online coming from the mentally ill who just want another product to pander, I have seen nobody who's previously said who said they previously liked Star Trek saying this is good. Not a single fucking person. But the access media still comes forward, still says it's a review bomb, even though there's nothing redeemable about this at all whatsoever. And the critics in the audience very rarely align on movies, TV shows, video games. Nowadays, completely 2 different worlds in terms of scores, and that is happening here. As of writing, Starfleet Academy holds an 87% critic on Rotten Tomatoes. Its audience score, however, sits at just a 43%. And if you look at the Metacritic, it's even worse. It's a 2.1 user score.
Yeah, like I actually think that the 43% is like the reason it's sitting at 43% is because almost no one has watched this show, so almost no one has reviewed it. If more people actually watched this show, that score would be in the 20s.
Yes.
And I think that's just so indicative of how little interest it's garnered. I believe like the first day it was like number 3 or something on Paramount Plus. And then within 3 days, it fell out of the top 10 globally and was on the number 10 spot in the United States 3 days after it was released, something like that.
Yep, that is true. Of course, I'm sure you all already know they even put it up, the first episode up on YouTube for free, trying to get people interested. They got absolutely raked across the fucking coals for this decision. And the last time that I can remember a show did this was Halo and Master Cheeks, which of course was canceled. Everybody fucking hated the Halo show as well, but they were desperate. They were trying to get people interested. They figured it was a perfect way. Oh yeah, we'll give them a little taste. Maybe they'll actually subscribe. They'll watch it. Well, it's got 169,000 views. It's been up for 4 days. It's sitting at 6.9K likes to 21,000 dislikes. Whew.
Yeah, and they only had 1,300 people watching during the premiere, which, considering the millions of subscribers these 2 channels and Paramount Plus and Star Trek have together, that's pretty rough. But with Halo, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe it was put out for free on YouTube before it was even available on the streaming service, was it?
So the first episode had gone up. It had gone up on release day on YouTube.
Like this was put out before it even released on the streamer. So like the idea of getting access to this here before a paid subscription platform, I don't think we've ever seen that with any of this shit.
But they're both Paramount, so it does make sense. Like they've had the same general concept and like idea, but they've slightly changed the way that they put it out, because Halo, I believe, went up at the same time. This went up before. And if I was a paying customer of Paramount Plus, I'd be pissed with a decision like that. That is trash to do to your audience. Like, you expect people to give you money and you can't even give them the content like upfront before anybody else gets it. It's wild. But there's currently 6,726 comments. Most of them, as I'm sure chat can guess, are who else is here just for the comments? Came here right after Drinker's video. How long until the comments get disabled? To boldly leave the comments section open. It's so funny. I love how the captain reminds me of a manager at Dollar Tree. The Chancellor, she drives me fucking batty.
Holly Hunter is off. Like,
yeah,
the way that she
was great as in character. Yeah, she was great in The Incredibles 15 years ago.
Well, like, look, I believe that she could, if she was asked to give a different performance, she could give a different performance. Like, but the way they are having her play this character, it is so unlikable. Her slouching in the fucking chair and curled up reading a book, her fucking walking
I won't
barefoot,
wear my uniform because I'm not like the other captain. Yeah.
Bro, walking barefoot for these like meetings and stuff. Like, it is such uncaptain-like behavior.
It is.
Especially for someone who's supposed to be the chancellor of Starfleet Academy, who is supposed to be the example for all the new fucking cadets. It should be someone who is buttoned up as possible, and this is the opposite of that. It is so fucking frustrating.
Yeah. I completely agree. Cabal, thank you for the 10. According to the show, military academies in the future will be filled with cadets that are all fat, socially inept, have a mental illness, or be hopelessly stupid. Yeah, they're all fucking fat ass gay lesbians. Like, who the hell actually wants to watch this? There's off the chart neurodivergence with Sam, who doesn't know how to give a thumbs up, and Cadet Calm Cruncher, who runs around sounding like a fucking seal every time she says red alert, red alert, red alert. Oh my god, I just want to bash my head in. I hate it.
I don't. The Sam thing. So we have a fat, retarded hologram who is a Starfleet Academy, and I don't know Star Trek very well, so maybe I don't understand.
That's not Star Trek.
but I don't understand why a hologram would need to attend school. Couldn't you just like download that shit? Like,
yeah,
you know what
but
I mean?
this is supposed to be such unique characters, and we need cool ideas, and this sounds special. I mean, that's basically the gist of this entire show is we need to put as much bullshit into it as possible. But you're 100% correct. Like, it makes no fucking sense. It really doesn't. But unfortunately, you know, nobody that's a part of any of these nerd properties anymore know anything about the work they're supposed to basically be doing, the types of stories they're supposed to be telling. And that's why the only people defending them on social media are brain dead. You've got Becky Lynch, who is part of the WWE, and the reason why she's commenting on this is because she has a cameo. But her response is Star Trek Starfleet Academy is a major hit. People from all over the world and all walks of life can't get enough of this amazing show. Of course, when you're the greatest like me, you're going to have trolls that want to rain on your parade. But must be all Maxine fans. They really do hate fun. So sad. Then you've got the fucking cast.
But can you go back to that last thing real quick?
Yeah.
It is a graphic that says in just one day, Star Trek's divisive new series becomes a streaming hit. There's no sources, no data for viewership. And in fact, the only data that we have is that it actually isn't. My guess is this is coming from just one of those random clickbait sites that if you read through the story, it's going to be like, Star Trek Academy premiered as the #3 top show for one day on Paramount Plus's streaming service.
Right.
And then after 3 days, it was out of the top 10, which is embarrassingly bad for by any notion of a well-known IP, you know? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, mediocrities. Thank you for the 2. As Ryan says, media crates. We want more Spock sitting in a chair streams. Yeah, and even look at the live viewers, which topped out, I think, right under 1,400 versus Nerdrotic stream. And then you have these idiots on social media saying, oh my gosh, look at all the views that it's getting after the fact, and you guys are like pushing propaganda about it because it had 124,000 views. FNT had 136K, and of course now it's much higher, but damn, they are desperate, saying shit like, it's hilarious that all the "this is not Star Trek" and "this is trash" folks are making Starfleet Academy get more views because now people want to see if it's really that bad and maybe surprised they went in with lowered expectations. We might even get a season 3. If you are boasting about 5 more people viewing this show than did the day before, I'm sorry, you've already fucking lost.
Can you click on that guy, Starfleet Academy, Can you click on him?
Yes, I can.
Can you click on when he joined?
Yes.
Okay, I thought maybe it was gonna be a fucking Pakistani or some shit. That's what I was hoping.
No. They have 5K followers. Wow, congratulations.
What's his YouTube channel like?
I don't know. I didn't click it. 823 subscribers. Woo! Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Maybe he'll be monetized soon.
Maybe. Let's take a look. Video 3 weeks ago. Lego/Star Trek promotional shuttle pod build impressions. Don't you just want to go and subscribe to this channel, Ryan?
He looks happy to get more great Star Trek content.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's, of course, trashing anybody who is criticizing it, which is funny. And of course, Nerdrotic, 5.2K likes to, what did he get on his? 449 likes. I mean, Nerdrotic better be careful.
Well, he shut down his replies after this.
He did, yeah.
Because he didn't want to get ratioed again, yeah.
Pretty fucking pathetic. If you're going to have an opinion and you're going to voice that opinion on social media, say it with your chest or don't say it at all. Stop hiding behind a locked account and locked replies and all this. It's pathetic and it makes you look so ridiculous. But
Yasoy Whack sub. Good job, Yasoy Whack. Sub. He needs the subs. Good job.
He does. I gotta say, I love the first 2 episodes of Starfleet Academy. It was fun, full of hope, and I'm absolutely invested in all these new characters, gatekeepers, and haters be damned. Wow.
Again, a locked replies.
Yeah, there's a running theme here.
But the only people this is going to appeal to are like women and gays, specifically younger ones or incredibly woke ones. And one of my biggest problems with the show, you put all the plot and story elements aside, like don't worry about that. Just the way that the characters speak and act.
The acting is so horrendous.
This should be set in like the 32nd or 33rd.
It's the 32nd, which was made up for Discovery.
We're talking about over 1,000 years from now, over 1,000 years post Kirk Star Trek, and everyone's talking as if they are a Gen Zer on Earth today. The same comments, the same verbiage that's used, the same type of speech. And that's probably what the writer's room looks like too. And it is so fucking cringe.
And the most ridiculous part about getting shows like this time and again is that Gen Z is not interested because you are either talking about, teenagers who don't care about Star Trek unless they have maybe a father or a mother who loved Star Trek and maybe they grew up watching it. But I generally don't think that a 15, 16, 17-year-old is going to be like, I'm just going to randomly start watching Star Trek. Or you have people like me who I'm technically Gen Z still and I like Star Trek. I've watched Star Trek. I care about Star Trek. This shit is fucking cringe. So they're just trying to appeal to the gays and the theys who don't show up to watch this shit, or I guess some of them do. There's just only a couple of them.
That is my argument, and it's always been my argument. Yeah. We always say, this audience never shows up to support it. I think that lets them off the hook because I think they are showing up. Yeah. I think the gays and the non-binaries and the pronouns and bios, these freaks and weirdos and degenerates, all of them are showing up and watching. The problem is that there aren't enough of them to watch to make something successful. They are such a small minute minority of people, which is why you should never appeal to them, which is why you should never make anything for them, at least not on a big scale. If you want to make some tiny fucking thing, some original show, and put it on the ass end of fucking Netflix or wherever streaming service, it's perfectly fine. You can make stuff that's dedicated for a smaller audience, but you shouldn't be doing it with $10 million an episode with an incredibly well-known IP that's fan base does not want that. That's not where you should be. It shouldn't be in Star Wars, shouldn't be in Marvel, shouldn't be in Lord of the Rings, shouldn't be in all this stuff, right? You have room to make those shows. You can make those shows if you want, but it has to be on a budget that makes sense for the tiny microscopic portion of people who will be interested in something like that. And by the way, most of these people are probably going to kill themselves at some point anyway, so they're not going to be around to watch season 2.
That's a point maybe these creatives should probably learn. Really quickly before we watch this video, Justin, thank you for the $10. Heading towards 0 degrees here. Fuck my life. Would you guys ever do a things I hate tier list? I feel like this should exist on the stream. We could one day. We could
things that grind my gears.
We could just for 2 hours talk about shit we absolutely hate, the worst of the worst, do rankings of Disney, and we could just do nerd culture. We could do video games. We could. That'd be a lot of hatred in one stream, though.
Races.
Yeah.
I'm up for
that's
a race. Can we do a race tier list?
Maybe.
I've already got a couple. I already got my mind made up on a couple. So.
Well, don't spoil it. Of course, don't spoil it right now in case we decide to ever do that. But thank you for the 10, much appreciated. Maybe one day we'll do a filled with hatred stream talking about the worst of the worst. But I'm not sure if you've seen this. You probably have. Get woke, go broke. Star Trek actor explaining how they've made the franchise both gay and retarded.
I think that we are redefining what it means to be a warrior. You know what I mean? Like, a warrior doesn't always mean picking up, weapon and going into battle. There's like a lot of other battlefields. And so I think that's what we're doing in Starfleet Academy with Klingons.
It is like, look, when we talk about Pedro Pascal being handsy and stuff with women, this is why.
Yeah, look at that.
Gay people, right? Gay people, gay men who constantly like have their hands all over women. It's a very strange thing. And that's why that's why Pedro Pascal does. Because Pedro Pascal is actually a massive fucking queer. But that dude plays a gay ass Klingon. The Klingon hasn't been revealed to be gay, but he certainly seems like it. He's a bird watcher. He wears a fucking skirt as well in one of these episodes. Oh, yeah, because I definitely want to hear about a bird watcher character in my Star Trek, because that's definitely the most important piece of information that you should present to people when you actually try to get people interested in your product. I mean, that's definitely amazing modern day writing. But I mean, yeah, this is fucking weird. These people are all weird. Now, of course, again, they were hired based on their race, sexuality, gender. They were hired for a certain reason, most likely not because they're actually talented actors. I haven't seen any performances that I certainly like at this point. I guess maybe there's 1 or 2 characters that I didn't hate, but that's because they had 2 fucking lines throughout the entire thing. But man, oh man, like, yeah, like a bird watching Klingon is ridiculous. You're not gonna convince me that anybody is truly watching this and going, yeah, it's pretty good. You really have to be, well, they are mentally ill, but extremely mentally ill to find any sort of entertainment out of this. And it only gets worse because not only are these actors making these statements, but you also have this. Did you read this when I sent this to you like 2 hours ago? I did, yes. You threw up in DMs.
I did. Oh my gosh.
And Tig Notaro, look, the clip that you see of Tig Notaro out there, it's really frustrating, much like a lot of the acting in the show, because she just sounds exactly the same that she sounds in every fucking thing that she's in, completely unfunny and cringe. And then you see this headline, Tig Notaro, Star Trek Starfleet Academy shows same Tig, different galaxy. That's the fucking problem, is that a ugly, woke, butch, unfunny lesbian comedian 1,000 years in the future is exactly the same as they are today.
Right. Exactly.
That's a problem. It takes you out of it.
But the way that they have set this entire article up, which, by the way, it's from out.com under gay TV shows, says the comedian and LGBTQ plus castmates discuss their youth-oriented space adventure and the queer impact they hope that it will have on the universe. I'm sorry, I don't want to fucking hear youth-oriented and queer propaganda in the same goddamn sentence. And that's such a big part of this entire article. It just gets worse and worse. They talk about, how like Andrea Gibson, Come See Me in the Good Light, was honored with a GLAAD Media Award nomination. GLAAD recently nominated Assassin's Creed Shadows for its representation video game award, which definitely is a great look for them because that's such a high quality product. But they say Starfleet Academy, the 60-year-old Star Trek has to depict the challenges, obstacles, adventures, and yes, even sex lives of teenage Starfleet cadets. Why is this the most pressing matter on your mind when it comes to Star Trek? This is really all you care about seeing is, oh my gosh, certain people are represented. Who gives a fuck? This honestly is significantly worse for you because if in every piece of media your LGBTQ icons are in dog shit roles and the characters are written like trash, why would you want your community to be playing these characters? It just makes you look even worse, especially when you have actors who come out and make these statements and go on and on and on about how, we want to reinvent a series. We want to reinvent entertainment.
Yeah, and it feels like we have these same conversations every 3 months about a different IP.
Right.
And the argument is always, if you want to make these stories and stuff like that, feel fucking free. But
don't expect my viewership
to these franchises that people are not interested in? And the reason is because when you do make those stories and stand on your own, no one watches them because no one's interested. Because 2% of the world population identifies as mentally ill, or however many gay people live out there. I don't know. They always fail. And we constantly see it pushed into all this shit. It's so depressing.
It is.
Luckily, I don't care about Star Trek. So
yeah, I mean, I care less now just because we've had so many failures after failures. There's still some amazing Star Trek that we've gotten, and I will always hold it in my heart and I will always love it. But yeah, modern Trek is fucking trash, but there's no way to save it at this point. But I feel the same way about Star Wars, basically. I have no faith in anybody in Hollywood nowadays, but it's a little less painful for you, which I'm a little bit jealous of. But
I mean,
yeah.
Look, you said that doesn't bother you as much. Star Wars shit really fucking bothers me still. I've obviously been in a war with fucking Star Wars since they sold the company and all this stuff. But for me, every bad thing that comes out, I'm still fucking furious about it. It doesn't make it any less.
Yeah, no, I agree. Doom Guy, thank you for the 2. Tig Notaro equals lesbian Tom Cruise. No.
Don't disrespect Tom Cruise.
Yeah, don't do that. Tom Cruise deserves a little bit better than that. But I do appreciate your donation. Whew, have you seen the new trailer for Relooted?
I have not. And then I saw it, or you told me we were going to talk about it today, and I still have not, because I figured you wanted my fresh reaction.
Yeah, this is a game that is definitely going to interest you. I know you're ready to pre-order it. You're ready to play. You could play the demo, but Relooted, if anybody does not know, is the African futurist heist game where you plan for high-risk missions and the target's real African artifacts. So Let's take a look at their stunning and brave new fucking trailer.
Talk to me, Cryptic.
It's in the air.
Good. Let's do this. What's the target?
Behold, the Bangwa Queen from Cameroon.
We must return her home.
Anything else while we're there?
Ooh, that Asante gold mask would be great to have.
Okay, how do we get in?
You can go through the front door, sis, but you'll need to be quick.
I'm sorry, even bullshit Western white men are bad because they stole our cultural artifacts aside. This game looks like trash visually. I get it's a small team. I don't care at this point. Look at Expedition 33. Expedition 33 had a team of under 50 people, had less than $10 million to work with. They didn't have a million handouts, and the game they created was a masterpiece. I don't think every game needs to be a 10 out of 10, but boy, does this look bad.
Through the garage. Wednesday is garbage collection, so security is lax.
Locked. New shutters. I can handle the locks.
Look at that combo!
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll take that.
Stairwells are closed off valves. We'll need them dead.
I'm on it.
I'm in.
Have you got a surefire way out? Once the alarm is tripped, we won't have time to think.
So think ahead. Got it.
That door will close when the alarm is triggered.
Your exit route is through the construction site.
However you get here, we'll be
pause it.
waiting for you.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Listening to all these characters, you know what's really fucking funny?
God, what?
This could easily be Star Trek Starfleet Academy, like the dialogue and stuff.
It really
Like when that guy with the really deep voice came in, it could have been the Klingon. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I have other things to say, but we'll watch the rest.
Okay, and also really quickly, let me just say thank you, Jesus, for the 2. For some reason, it didn't pop up in StreamYard, so I didn't see it, but I checked the YouTube studio. If he's in charge, then he gets his Ahsoka movie. I mean, Dave Filoni can get whatever he wants at this point. Whatever he says goes.
Ironically, that is still kind of in a holding pattern, probably depending on what the reaction might be to Ahsoka, or probably how the Mando and Grogu movie does in theaters. It's probably why that hasn't been gone officially into production yet.
Probably. But thank you for the 2.
Let's bring it home.
Go, big sis!
It's time to get out of there.
I've almost got it.
Luckily, Africa has you on their side.
Nearly there, Noman.
Luckily, Africa has you on their side, even though this is in America. Okay.
Bad guys are coming. Go time.
Run!
10 seconds left.
That thing's fast.
Move, Norman.
Let's go!
The game looks so boring.
It does.
So the entire premise of it is so funny, and this is more just gameplay related. The first trailer was very much about why they're doing this and the white man taking artifacts from Africa and stealing our stuff and blah, blah, blah. You know what the irony is of all of these things that are in museums and all this shit? The irony is the only reason that so much African history has been preserved is because of fucking white people. The only fucking reason. Do you know why? Because if it hadn't been for white people coming in and trying to stop you savages from just doing the same thing over and over again, you'd still be just using fucking spears, trying to kill each other, destroying all these fucking artifacts, burning everything to the ground, killing each other. The only reason y'all have fucking wheels is because white people came down there. The only reason you guys have second-story buildings that we can store these things in are because white people were fucking there. Africa is so much better off as a continent because white people are there, and all black people do is fucking bitch and moan and complain. You should thank white people for trying to preserve your dog shit fucking history that we should have just quite frankly burned to the ground. We would have been better off if we did that anyway. That's the irony of all of this shit. And now you have a game that is about black people stealing shit from white people.
Which I was just looking on the Steam forums because I've covered this in a few videos now. They deleted, it seems, because I can't find it here unless I'm missing it. They deleted this comment that was left on the forum saying, "Get over it. The reason Western museums have so many one-of-a-kind of artifacts is because the countries they were looted from had zero respect for their historical value. Sorry, the mean old white man decided history was worth preserving." And the developers were responding saying, "Got any sources for that claim? Many of the artifacts in Relooted were taken from thriving existing civilizations who deeply treasured them. So unless you have sources to speak to your claim in a way that relates to the artifacts in Relooted, or at least the demo, your claim isn't accurate." Yeah, Ryan, you made that point. Do you have any sources for your fucking claim, you bigot?
I have the entire history of the continent of fucking Africa.
I thought that was so funny when you just said that.
I've never seen that comment before, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just the reality. It's the truth. Right? Not everybody in the world developed the same way at the same time. And the truth is the African continent was far behind other civilizations. And it isn't like you still have, tribes and stuff in the fucking Amazon in South America, these places that have not had contact with the rest of the civilized world that still are doing very archaic things, That's just kind of reality. Not all of human society is evolving at the same time or in the same way based on their needs, based on a bunch of different shit. But that's the reality about Africa. And there's a reason why
it's not racist to speak the truth.
We still spend billions and billions of dollars a fucking year building wells and doing all these things that they don't take care of, that they don't have no understanding of how to take care of them. The amount of money we send to a place like fucking Haiti, that we try to do things in Haiti, and the people that live there just immediately fucking rip it up, and all they worry about is fighting each other, and they are savages, right? In some cases. So the only fucking reason that we have all these artifacts is because white people kept them safe. And we're still trying to keep them safe from black people, apparently.
I don't know why they thought that making this game and responding in this way was going to go well for them. But thank you for the two. You two have to stream this. I don't know. I think, Ryan, that this might actually be a good game for us to stream.
For Black History Month?
Maybe.
All right, I'll do it.
I mean, you could just play the demo and just call it at that. But I'm going to have to stream a full playthrough fucking regardless, so fuck my life. Speaking of fuck my life, One Gal, thank you for the 50. I think y'all need the shots. We do. We're talking about so much bullshit tonight. As again, it's the same patterns that keep happening under any well-beloved IP. Really hope it doesn't hit Warhammer. Are you joking, or have you not been paying attention to the news the past few days about the femstody bullshit in the way that they've responded? Unfortunately, it is hitting Warhammer. Games Workshop is going the way of basically every other fucking company nowadays. Also, Ryan, what's with the Sidious cosplay?
I don't know. I don't usually wear a hoodie, but I'm going a little up and down depending on how cold I'm getting. It is a little cold in my house today. So
I don't know, maybe turn the heat up? How cold is it
there?
No,
I'm saving money.
How cold is it there?
It's going to be down in the 30s tonight. So my house is like 61.
I mean, it's going to get down to like 12 here, so
yeah.
It's not that cold where you are. Thank you for the 50 though.
Hold on.
Much appreciated.
All right, let's drink. Hold on. Thank you.
Gosh, damn.
But obviously, in comparison to where I'm at,
well, yeah.
And these houses are built for warm climates, so when it gets cold, they don't retain heat specifically very well, like intentionally.
Yeah.
So it gets, it's about 60, 61 in my house, which is a little chilly, but
yeah,
is what it is.
Thank you so much for the 20 Blackguard. I think that's how you say it. For what I've seen in SFA, so far the characters act like toddlers in a daycare and not young adults in a professional military academy trying to learn how to be the best officers in the Federation. Yeah, it is a slap in the face to what Star Trek used to be and what the Academy, it is fucking atrocious. But yeah, none of them act their age. I think like a lot of the main cast is supposed to be like 17 and right around that age. They don't fucking act like that. I mean, there are some brain to 17-year-olds, but you think going to a professional military academy, they would actually be the best choices possible. And they're just getting their fucking DEI scholarships, which is
it should be best of the best. Like that's what it should be. Now you could make some. Based on what I know, and it sounds like Starfleet Academy has been down for a while, and the burn took out a bunch of things, and like whatever the fuck's been going on with Star Trek Discovery, I don't know. I just had the little intro, but maybe they're like in a really bad spot. That's why like the War College or whatever has been taking place. So maybe they're trying to rebuild things. So maybe they don't have the best of the best. Maybe they don't have the cream of the crop. They're trying to get back there. You could maybe explain that and make it as some excuse, but look, there's way too many fucking fats and losers and retards for you to convince me that this is an actual Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, it's a gay military academy. That's all that it is. But thank you for that. And Doom Guy, thank you for the 10. We send them money. They reproduce at a higher rate. We finally leave because they won't help themselves. And then they're worse than better. And it's our fault somehow. Never try to help these people.
Yeah, look, everyone's free to give their money to charitable ways anytime they want.
Give your money in any way you possibly want.
Bro, if it's for a place like fucking Africa, if it's for fucking Haiti, you're throwing your money away. You're throwing good money after bad. Shit's never going to fucking change.
Yep.
It's just the truth. So, and you can have sympathy and empathy for people and children that have to go through that stuff, but
of course,
no amount of money is ever going to change it. We have poured so much money. And what do they want?
Clearly is not going to just magically fix the problems. It is also mindset.
Yeah, and it's all for people that if you fucking walk through there, you're probably going to get kidnapped by a warlord and held for ransom or raped and murdered or whatever the fuck if they see a white person walking through that country. Like, fuck them.
Yeah.
Go back to your fucking Stone Age shit.
Yeah. Fair enough. Taker, thank you for the 5. When they return the artifacts, they explain to the people what the artifact is by reading to them the description from the display at the museum. Hey, listen, it's funny, but also these are the types of fucking people that their dream is for someone like Lara Croft to be pushed out of the spotlight, right? This is like their response to something like Tomb Raider. Oh, Lara Croft is just a fucking white colonialist piece of trash, rich woman. She's stolen from all of these different cultures and civilizations. That's why companies like Crystal Dynamics have tried to rewrite Lara Croft, and they've tried to change her around and have her apologize for those toxic, mean origins. But these are the types of people that would love to create the next Tomb Raider alternative. And the game is definitely anti-white colonialism propaganda. And I mean, you're not going to change my mind there. But the trailer currently on YouTube, or on X, the IGN post for it has 654,000 views. Ryan, take a guess. How many people are in the demo? Off of just this one post alone, 700,000 views nearly.
So how many people are playing the demo?
Yes. Or even all-time peak for the demo.
All-time peak, 159.
And in-game right now?
30.
Woo! Ryan, you're a little bit off because it's 22 all-time peak and 1 person in game. You overshot it by a little bit. It's just a little bit off. Off of not even counting all the other YouTube videos and uploads and posts and articles. There's been articles from Polygons, Kotaku's, IGN's. This one post from IGN alone on X, 700,000 views. One person. Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, that is rough. Hey guys, the modern audience is playing the game right now. They're very happy with it. All-time peaks 22. Now, yeah, it is just a demo. So sure, maybe when the game comes out, I believe it's February 10th, maybe they will get like 1,000 people. That's being extremely generous though. I don't see a way that it's going to be any higher. Hey, when that post went up, though, they got 6 people in the demo at once. I know, pretty good numbers.
Let's
6
go.
hey, it's positive. 71 positive reviews, 20 negative reviews right now, which I think is funny, but yeah, it's not looking too good. In the let me see if I can find the actual just game one, because it does show the followers, which is it's only got 1,839 followers. It's number 4,763 in wishlist activity, and in top wishlist it's number 1,458. But again, it's still a couple weeks away. Either way, though, nobody's fucking interested in this shit. Oh man, how can an African futurist heist game not be a banger, though? Come on, people are just racist these days for not wanting to play it. Garrett, guess what? I'm streaming it day one. It's true. I think that the only people that are going to be playing it are journalists, the developers, friends and family, and then content creators who want to mock it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, we should play it. I'll play it, Vera.
Wow, look at that. Well,
I need to do something for Black History Month.
Promise to play it doesn't mean you will play it.
That's true. I've broken plenty of promises before in my life, so
yeah, and I think every week it's a promise of a new game. At first it was Battlefield 6, then it was Arc Raiders.
Hold on, I don't know if I ever said Battlefield 6.
You had said at first.
Maybe. I think I said maybe Battlefield 6.
Oh yeah, Battlefield 6 would be good. That would be a good one.
That's way different than like what I just said, though.
You're actually getting excited to play this game. You can't wait to make a bunch of racist ass jokes.
I sounded excited, right?
You did. You actually, I think that might be the most excitement I've heard of your voice this entire stream. I know you're depressed, but there's always things to look forward to. Devs were like, this is going to be empowering. It's so true. And I believe that this entire team, or most of them, are Black people. Why would they think that this is like stunning and brave? They constantly bitch about racist stereotypes, but then they go ahead and make a game about one of the most common racist stereotypes.
Yeah, looting.
Yeah. We was Ludas and shit.
Right, because in their mind, it is
it's
valid,
them doing it, so it's okay.
It's valid because of the purpose. It's not them stealing Nikes. It's them stealing their artifacts back and shit. And again, like we said, it's like fucking Native Americans, honestly, here in America. They want to pretend like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the white people took our land. Like this is our ancient land. It's like, was it really? Because you had a battle with this tribe and this tribe and this tribe and this tribe and this tribe, and you all fucking murdered each other for fucking centuries and centuries over this plot of land. But because we got it last and we kept it, it's stolen from you, even though you had it second to last. And I guarantee you that a lot of Native American artifacts and things like that are only preserved because a more civilized society came in that actually had value for some of those fucking things and kept them. Now, did we maybe destroy a lot of shit? Did we fucking kill a lot of people? Yeah, probably. We fucking did. But overall, you probably ended up better off for it.
Yeah. Ultimately, you know, I think that with a game like this, and also seeing the way the developers have responded has been, you know, fucking hilarious. Over the past, you know, like couple of weeks, they haven't really locked down a lot of threads. Apparently they're deleting some of them, but previously they were locking down like a shit ton of them, trying to really get people to shut up. Like, people's jobs are at stake. They locked that down because they just couldn't handle it. But now the developers are actually responding to threads. They are replying and saying, you need to cite your sources. You need to apologize. They're even basically begging people that are criticizing them to play it. They're like, oh, you could actually give it a chance yourself. How about no? Like, most normal people are not interested in a game like this. And even the people that are part of your fucking modern audience, you know, there's 22 of you maximum, and you got so much attention, you got so much free publicity, and that's the best you can muster. Of course, people are gonna point and laugh at you, and you fucking deserve it. So
I think when it comes out, it'll be like 150, something like that. You know what I mean?
I think initially I had said a very generous, like 1,000.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I don't
Not
think
this
that,
type of game.
I think maybe like 300 now. I think I could see like 300. But more than that,
Yeah,
there's
150,
no way.
200. Yeah. Well, especially if we're going to play it. So.
Well, yeah, that's 2 sales right there. But the thing, right, is that we are going to see this massive wave of support from the journalists. Now, some of them have already released articles saying, oh my gosh, it's this cool new idea. You should at least wishlist it. But we all know how the access media responds, and that's calling people racist, sexist, toxic, and that's exactly what they're going to do here yet again. So how intensely they will like go to bat for this and how much they'll actually defend it, who knows, but they're at least going to cover it a couple of times. So
yeah. And it's gonna be like, oh, review bombed. It's gonna be all the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same shit, different day, different property, because that's always what happens. Like they just don't care enough to actually admit, maybe this concept wasn't the best. Maybe people just don't like the story. No, it's never that with them. But yeah, maybe we'll get Ryan to play it in a couple of weeks. I know I will unfortunately have to play it no matter what. I also don't know what the price is going to be. And I think it'll be like $20. So we'll see if Ryan wants to spend $20 on it. Imagine if they sell it for like $50.
Over on Rumble, thanks guys for watching over on Rumble. Deeds Minnesota with a gifted subscription, and Pugs with a gifted subscription. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching over on Rumble, on my Rumble channel.
Yes, if anybody does not know, Ryan does stream every episode of Fuck My Life over on his Rumble channel.
Everyone.
It's true. Hey Zeus, thank you for the gifted membership. Much appreciated. Thank you. And Moto Geeked, thank you for the $4.99. Is it just me, or did they even reloot their font from Rockstar? The font from Rockstar. I don't know.
The Relooted.
I don't think so.
It looks similar. Like, it looked similar to me at a glance. Now that that's said,
I don't know. I don't think it looks quite similar enough. But I mean, it's definitely not a super like neither of these fonts are like super unique. But yeah, the one at the top definitely looks closer to Rockstar. But I don't know. Wouldn't even shock me at this point. There are a lot of indie developers and small studios that kind of feel like they can do whatever they want because they're fighting the evil corpos,
and they're getting funded by other places to stay alive. You know, make these games. So.
Yeah, I raised the question earlier. We'll have to see if they end up being funded by a government like Dustborn was. They received a bunch of government fucking funding for that pile of slop. So wouldn't even shock me if that happened here. I don't know, maybe they hired a consultation company. That also wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, a lot of these plays get fun. Like it's like funding for retards. That's what it is. It's like, look at the good things we're doing. This is a game that uplifts African people and it promotes diversity and like whatever the fuck. And so you're getting $100,000 grant from this random government thing.
Yeah. But let's talk about something a little bit better for a couple of minutes, because I know we were both very excited for this. The explosive diarrhea. Who doesn't love seeing that on their screen? A Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode 1 has finally released. I believe it was 45 minutes. That
is going to be the longest episode of the series.
I know. It's so sad. And I get it, right? We're talking about novellas. We're not talking about like Game of Thrones length novels here, but these characters are so likable and they're such good characters that I want to see as much of them as possible. But Ryan, what did you think of this episode?
I really liked it. It is like, I really like the Hedge Knight. It's a great story. It is a short story. It is, what's the book? About 120 pages or something, maybe. Like, it's a short story.
Yeah, they're each like 120 pages roughly.
Ish. About a 3-hour read or a 3-hour listen. So they're adapting it into 3 hours of television, which means we should basically see everything that we see in the short story, but you're probably going to have to add a couple things in there to be able to get out some of the things that aren't spoken dialogue, that are things that are inside Dunk's head and stuff like that. And the two most important parts about this show are the castings for Dunk and Egg. And I think they nailed it.
I think they nailed it too. My only initial worry was that, Dunk is supposed to be much younger. Peter Claffey is 27 or 28, and he was supposed to be like, 16? So that was
17 or 18, but he didn't actually know.
Okay, 17 or 18, right. But I think that this actor so far, first episode, fucking fantastic. Really, really good casting. And this is one of those times where the change doesn't matter as much. Now, everybody is usually aged up in Game of Thrones projects. Look at the aging up of like Ned Stark and even the kids, and that is bound to happen. So it didn't bother me too much because I expected that, but he did a really good job. And then Egg's actor is so fucking sarcastic and so hilarious.
He's phenomenal, and like that is the relationship, and that's what makes it fun, because Dunk is this big, kind of dumb
thick
dude
as a castle wall.
Dunk the Lunk, thick as a castle wall, and he very naive in some ways about some things, but also has a better understanding of the reality of the way the world works sometimes than maybe somebody like Egg would. Like, Egg understands a lot more than Dunk in some ways too, because of his experiences, which I don't know if we're trying to not get into spoilers here or whatever.
Oh, we can talk about spoilers. That's
fine.
So
Egg obviously being Aegon Targaryen, and I mean, it's a story that came out fucking 20 years ago, so I don't think it should be like that much of a spoiler, but and his upbringing and his perspective on the world is very different than Dunk's, because they grew up completely different ways, and the opposite nature of them and their relationship as it grows is so interesting and unique. And I loved in this first episode the way they played out, the first couple scenes with them together, with Dunk asking him questions and Egg not exactly answering, but maybe at responding with a different question, and Dunk just makes assumptions about this child, even though Egg isn't actually saying what he thinks he's saying, which will all play out a little bit later. But yeah, Peter Claffey obviously is the most important role for Dunk, and yes, he doesn't exactly come off as an 18-year-old. He looks easily mid fucking 30s, maybe a little bit old for a squire, but overall he nails it. I think he nails the niceness, that naivete, the kind of dumbness that you're expecting, but also at his heart, he is a good person.
My heart was very warmed when we heard 3 times in the episode that he was going to cloud his ear. That right there that warmed my heart a little bit. Yeah, that means it's going to be said like 17 times throughout the season.
I think that, look, from what I recall, up to the point where they ended in this first episode, every line of dialogue that is present in the books is in this episode up to this point in the story. Now, there's certainly added stuff in there as well.
Yeah, like with the Baratheons.
Like with Lionel Baratheon, the Laughing Storm and stuff like that. And, a couple other things with the, with the Game Master and stuff. But overall, look, this is not a earth-shattering fucking story. It is a simple story in a complex world, but it's a simple story about some dude trying to do the right thing. And in Westeros, those are rare, which is why it's so refreshing.
Yeah, no, I agree. So out of the 3 novellas, is Hedge Knight your favorite? Because it's definitely mine by far. I like the other 2. I like the Weber. I like Weber, and then I like, how the 3rd novella feels more similar in tone to this first novella. But yeah, I mean, the first one's my favorite. I think so far, based on the trailers and also this episode, things are good. But we We talked about this before the stream had started. It's kind of hard for them to make such like drastic departures from the source material because it's short, right? So if we were talking about each episode was an hour long, then yeah, they'd have to add in 5 new characters with different storylines, and then they'd have to add in all this extra filler. But so far, it's pretty cut and dry. And given this is the longest episode by what is it, 8 minutes, compared to the other, like, yeah, I don't see them being able to drastically mess it up.
Yeah, and it also is different from any other stories in the Game of Thrones universe because it is not multi-perspectives. It is one perspective. It is the perspective of Dunk. Right. And so it's just one person's perspective going through this world as opposed to everything else. And all he cares about is kind of what's going on in his immediate vicinity. Like, we're not talking about the fate of the fucking continent. We're not talking about like this, this kingdom and this kingdom and this kingdom and this kingdom. We're talking about just one dude at one kind of mid-sized town's tourney.
Right.
Now, the things that happen
become extremely important.
Do have very big effects on the way that things play out, but you don't know that in the moment, and that's not really what it's about. I am really looking at, I'm really looking forward to seeing Baelor. Baelor's one of my favorite characters.
I fucking love Baelor.
In terms of the amount of screen time or page time a character like Baelor,
he had such a big impact.
He has a very big impact, and he is one of my favorite characters like in the universe.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I also think that the actor, I think that most of the castings for the show is actually really fucking good so far. Like I haven't seen, out of all of like the teasers and trailers and from the cast list, I haven't seen anybody that seems really off. Like all of them seem pretty spot on. But yeah, I mean, it was really...
Arian Brightflame, look, could I use some longer hair? Probably. But in terms of what we've seen of him and what a fucking asshole he seems like, it does look good. Lionel Baratheon, I liked like the interactions with Lionel Baratheon. I will say my head envisions, and even the book describes him as being a little bit bigger. Like Lionel Baratheon is described as a like mountain of a man, but still a little bit shorter than Dunk. Because you have, look, he's a descendant of fucking Bobby B, right? He's a descendant of fucking Robert Baratheon, not Fat King, and not how he looks in Game of Thrones with Mark Addy, who I love, but I love that portrayal, but that's not how he should look necessarily. But yeah,
no, I
like the way he plays him. Like the casting, I don't know. And same with Baelor, right? Baelor should be 39 years old. Baelor looks like he's in his mid-50s, which, again, that's kind of what we've done for a lot of the characters in Westeros, is age them up a little bit more to make it a little more realistic. But yeah.
There's times where, I'm willing to look past actor being a little bit older than a character if their portrayal is really fucking good. It's like with Stranger Things. I would have been fine if they just had started right after the end of season 4 and they said, oh, season 5 happens a day later, even if the characters look slightly older because they're actors. Like, I would be willing to ignore that for the sake of the storytelling if the storytelling was good.
Yeah. And specifically when you're talking about, characters who are adults, like, does it matter that Baelor looks like he's in his early 50s as opposed to being 39? Not particularly.
Right. Yeah, but that's the way it goes. I thought it was pretty good. I'm sure every week guys will be checking back in on it, but
what did you think of the shit scene?
I thought it was weird, but also I think that it set the tone really well.
Do you think it was a shot, or do you think it was just a tone setting thing?
I think it was just a tone setting.
I think it was a tone setting thing too, but the first thing I thought of when I saw the scene was, is this a shot at Game of Thrones?
Right.
Put it in perspective.
I don't think it was a shot at Game of Thrones. I just think it was...
What do you think about them being maybe not explicit, but as close to explicit as he could be, that Dunk was not knighted. That he is lying about that.
I think Dunk the Lunk, maybe,
because look, in the books, it's
not explicit,
implied,
right?
and it is questionable. Yeah. It's never laid out explicitly, but it definitely gives you some reason to think that Dunk might be lying about actually getting knighted.
I think that if he, let's say for argument's sake, if he's lying, it wasn't done maliciously, because he is definitely a little bit, slow. He thinks that he can prove himself over this long span of time. So I think he figures, well, maybe if that's the case, if it's a little lie, then eventually I can prove myself. I think that he was knighted, but also I think that with the age,
he was not. He was not knighted in this show.
He was not knighted in the show, but I mean, he wasn't, again, it wasn't laid out in like a scene in the book either. So, I mean, there's debate.
Right. But like, to me, this is explicit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
they could have.
Like, there's no ambiguity. To me, there's no ambiguity for this. And even if it's not explicit, it's obvious that he wasn't knighted. And the way that they played out that first scene, it seemed like he was almost resentful that Sir Arlen was a knight and not him. And like they even play out that scene where he's like, one day I'll be a knight just like you, right, sir? And he just says fucking nothing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like,
he just says nothing.
It does feel like he's somewhat more resentful of Arlen.
I hope that
he
doesn't
is in the book.
carry on throughout the entire show, though, because that definitely would change the tone of Dunk. And so, like, I hope that that's not a narrative that they constantly push, or that anytime Sir Arlen's name is brought up or anything, he gets, like, salty over it. Or whenever somebody asks, because several times throughout all of the novellas, he's asked, like, are you even a knight? Like, who can vouch for you? So.
And so I believe that we're going to get more flashbacks, especially because the way the novel is laid out, where you have Dunk in his head remembering all these things that Sir Arlen would tell him about how to be a knight or what to do.
I thought those were some pretty good scenes.
They were funny.
Him getting just punched and hit and I thought that was also pretty good to add to the tone.
It's pretty funny. Like, it's a funny show. Like when he's like, we could go be part of the city watch. Stop raping, sir.
Yeah.
Like I legitimately laughed at that line.
That was a pretty good addition, yeah. But I don't know. I don't see a way they could massively fuck it up, but also I don't fucking trust anybody in Hollywood nowadays, so maybe they will. I don't know. But I guess we'll see. I thought it was pretty good. Mediocrities, thank you for the gifted membership. Much appreciated. Doom Guy, thank you for the 2. Come to find Kim Belair's the CEO of Relooted. Wouldn't even shock me if Sweet Baby Inc. was affiliated with it in some way, because they've talked about the like cultural impact and how it is rooted in like real artifacts and realism. So maybe they will announce it. I don't know. Hey Zeus, thank you for the 5. Would you recommend A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms to someone who hasn't seen Game of Thrones but perhaps likes earnest medieval stories? Yes. I would. It definitely is going to feel much more like a medieval, just period piece almost, except for you're going to have like the characters that do tie in or like are referenced, and then the big house names and stuff. But besides that, I mean, it's just like a medieval show.
Think of it as an R-rated medieval show, but definitely much more earnest and lighthearted than anything you can expect from Game of Thrones. There's still going to be fucks thrown in. There's still going to be tits here and there, but like, yeah,
because there's no magic. I mean, there are in other novels, like in the 3rd novella, I won't like spoil anything for anybody who hasn't read them, even though it's been 20 fucking years. But there are like set pieces that do feel more mysterious and magical, and there are characters that feel more magical, but definitely not in this season, except for like the one line in the first episode that was like, I dreamed of you.
Besides, which is going to play a role, Daeron the Drunkard, that they're going to flesh that out a little more, and that dream obviously has a ton of meaning for what comes in the future, but he is a Targaryen dreamer.
It's true.
Who's tortured.
Yep. Not wrong. And Robert, thank you for the $4.99. I want them to try and adapt the Dresden Files these days, but these days, so, I mean, obviously, did a Sci-Fi Channel adaptation back in 2007, but there were reports back in May of 2025 that it sounded like they were considering it. So, I don't know. Would be bad, I'm sure. I don't know if you knew of that or if you were just saying you would like it but yeah, you know.
Mr. Video Game Official says, I think it was stupid that he almost became the best buddy of Lionel, but I think try to make Lionel put him on the list or that Lionel made him knight in his underservice. I like that we get more of a connection to Lionel Baratheon because I like Lionel Baratheon and we don't get a ton of him. And, you know, so I think that could be interesting going forward. But I fully believe that is not how Dunk will get on the list. If they change that, I'll be very upset.
I don't believe that's gonna happen. I just think that Lionel Baratheon's like, oh shit, this guy's like fucking 7 feet tall and he's in my pavilion. Damn, I want to talk to this guy because he's heckling him the entire time.
Why are you here? Like, he's like, dinner,
supper. And then he laughs. He's like, that's a good point. Actually, that makes sense. But
makes sense.
I like that. Yeah, they've already like established a little bit more of a relationship, especially with how important he becomes in the later episodes. So that is nice, but we'll see.
We got the Fossaways, like someone just brought up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Fossaways too. Ryan is right. 7778. Thank you for the 5. You didn't think Raymond Fossaway looked like Jeremy? I must be watching too much Geeks and Gamers.
Hey, I just want to point out that there was 7,777 other accounts that say I'm right before he created his. So very impressive.
That is true, and that's the only counter you're gonna give, huh? I don't, but that's okay. Maybe Ryan feels differently about that.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the origin of the red apple and green apple Fossaways.
Yes, I liked it though. All right, let's talk about probably the last topic. We'll see. Assassin's Creed. I know Ryan loves Assassin's Creed Shadows. He thought it was a great game.
I played it. I played so much of it.
I know you played so much of it. You would love for them to do Assassin's Creed Shadows 2, The Return of Yasuke. But we are now finding out that the former franchise boss is suing Ubisoft for $1.3 million in damages. Ryan, would you like to sue someone and get $1.3 million? I think it'd be worth the legal trouble, to be honest. $1.3 million, that's a pretty penny.
I would love to sue someone to get $1.3 million. I would love to do anything to someone to get $1.3 million. But certainly, especially if I had quit my job and then I sued them for it, I would really, that'd be fucking awesome. I'd quit Geeks and Gamers tomorrow if I could sue Jeremy and get $1.3 million.
Well, at first he would have to demote you because that is the moral of the story, I guess, is don't rely on your employer and then like take them up on their offer. So it says back in October, we reported on the seemingly abrupt departure of Assassin's Creed franchise head Mark Alexis Cote. 3 days later, he publicly defied Ubisoft's official statement, claiming that he was pushed out of the company. Things have clearly come to a head as he has filed a lawsuit totaling $1.3 million and sought reparations. Cote, who worked on the series from 2010's Assassin's Creed Brotherhood to last year's Assassin's Creed Shadows, left behind a 15-year tenure, and he did so quite unhappily. So what we are hearing is that, yes, initially back in October, he had abruptly left. It seemed that that was at the point where they were sort of getting rid of the like dead weight at Ubisoft that worked on Assassin's Creed, because now Assassin's Creed is being handed over to Vantage Studios, which is the Tencent company, or the co-Tencent company, and they're not going to need, you know, a million studio heads anymore, because you're going to probably just have one overboss for all of these different games. And yeah, there's going to be other people who are going to work on specific franchises and IPs, but it's not as drastic anymore. And he is saying that he was demoted. He was offered another position, but at a like lower level on the food chain, and it doesn't mention pay, but I mean, one would deduce he was also being offered less pay, and that is why he's suing them.
But like, can you sue for that? Like,
for being demoted? Oh, he thinks he can.
yeah, like that's when you send me this article, I'm like, I don't get it. Because I remember when this guy, the thing was he stepped out, but then it's like, no, I was forced out. And it's like, I was demoted. Like,
right.
Can't you just, hey, I don't think you're doing a very good job. You're going to get demoted. Okay. Like
right.
you can fire people, you can demote people, you can fire people. The question is, did they have cause to do so? And did they break any type of fucking contract?
So the thing is that this, of course, is he worked in France. Ubisoft is a French company, and French labor laws heavily protect employees against like unilateral changes to employee contracts and stuff. So that might be how it's happening. But if this will actually like happen or if he'll win, I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion that Ubisoft is basically just going to pay him, and he filed this hoping to like scare them, because this is going to be another mark against Ubisoft's public perception. Like, people already think Ubisoft is fucking trash. Never mind when you add lawsuits and security breaches and IPs going to shit into the mix.
Yeah, I mean, what's $1 million? Like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, hell.
How much money you lose on Assassin's Creed Shadows? What's another fucking $1 million in that bucket?
Well, right. And that's the thing is, if you are fucking trash at your job, you don't deserve to have that job. And yes, he was somebody who was, a part of some successful projects. It's not like every single Assassin's Creed game that's come out over the past 15 years have been bad. But a lot of them have been bad, and that is the major issue. Is like, you can't expect to keep your job if you're losing a company hundreds of millions of dollars. We don't know exactly how much Assassin's Creed Shadows lost, because we don't know what their internal goals were. We know that they had hit 5 million players, but that, of course, doesn't count sales and doesn't take into consideration, or it does take into consideration Ubisoft Plus numbers. But I can't imagine that Assassin's Creed Shadows was some smashing success in the eyes of this company who is struggling and who has lost so much money on Skull and Bones, X-Defiant, Outlaw, Shadows. I mean, you name it. Ubisoft is struggling right now. But yeah, I mean, under like Marxism, you can be trash and keep your job, I guess. And this is based in France.
But look, this is a mainline entry into the Assassin's Creed franchise. They expected huge fucking sales, especially after a year in which Skull and Bones failed. They do Avatar as well.
Yes, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora.
And that was a disappointment for them. And of course, Star Wars fucking Outlaws, which they spent more money promoting than anything else that they've ever made in history. Assassin's Creed Shadows was expected to do extremely well. And in theory, Assassin's Creed game set in Japan should have done really fucking well. But they couldn't do Assassin's Creed Shadows set in Japan without shoving a black dude in it. And we all saw how it worked out. I can almost guarantee you, if they just hadn't had Yasuke, if it had just been generic Japanese person who looks like every other fucking Asian in the world.
Generic Jap 42.
Generic Jap 42. Like, the game probably would have sold like 40% better. Genuinely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because everybody had been asking for a Assassin's Creed game set in Japan. And you expect a generic Jap. That's what you want, not fucking Yasuke, who doesn't act like an assassin at all whatsoever. He goes around bashing people's skulls in. He's not
chopping their
stealthy
heads
at all.
off.
Yeah, like, it's not the same. And
he walks around like a violent black man in an Asian city. Like,
I mean, he does though. It's not racist if it's the truth.
Yeah, you're just playing the knockout game with him,
But yeah, he's like fucking going around playing whack-a-moles with the other people. Like, goddamn. It's stupid. But even no way. She was a bad character too. I know you love Assassin's Creed Shadows. You put dozens of hours into it.
I put dozens of hours into talking about it on live streams, and I spent 0 minutes playing it, correct?
She talking?
This is the first, mainline Assassin's Creed game that I have not played in a decade and a half, probably.
Well, right. It's like with Call of Duty. I used to buy Call of Duty every single year. The past two, I haven't purchased because they fucking suck now. But I used to be a massive fan. Assassin's Creed as well. I obviously played Assassin's Creed Shadows because I live streamed it. So that's a little bit different. But, otherwise I would not play it and I would ignore the hell out of it because it was bad. You could tell it was going to be bad before it even launched.
Yeah, I mean, and they're lucky that Ghost of Yotei decided to do something retarded, and not have a male fucking lead. Otherwise, they would have been even more embarrassed. Imagine Ghost of Tsushima 2 and how well that would have fucking done.
It would have. And Pepper is also correct. To Shadow's credit, they grabbed the backstory before Yotei did. Yeah, because Noe and Atsu's stories were copy and paste. They were so similar.
Gay lesbians?
Well, that's part of it for sure. But it's always revenge. Woman needs to right the wrongs of other people.
Of her father.
It's bad. But from, as this article says, from what we're hearing, he's being so dramatic about this too. I came to see myself as the captain of the Assassin's Creed ship, he wrote on LinkedIn.
I should have gone down. I should have been allowed to go down with it instead of being fired.
Well, he says someone who leaves only once every soul on board is safe. That's him. He doesn't leave until everybody else has. And that's exactly what I have done for as long as I could. He's so fucking full of himself. He really thinks that he is irreplaceable. And even the journo here, right, is saying this analogy is dramatic. And Ubisoft decided to transfer the leadership of the Assassin's Creed franchise to someone closer to its new organizational structure, he explained at the time. He stated that he had been offered a different position with Ubisoft following what he saw as a demotion, but it did not carry the same scope, mandate, or continuity with the work I had been entrusted with in recent years. And he claims to harbor no resentment. I think he's sued because he's fucking resentful. He can lie all he wants, though. But
I don't have any resentment, but I would like $1.3 million for the suffering you caused me.
Yeah, right. Well, that's also another part. He's also suing not only for 1.3, but 1.3, which is 2 years worth of pay. I guess he's saying that, if you fucking divide that by 2, that's what he'd be getting. But $75,000 in moral damages. What fucking moral damage is there, buddy?
What I will say, I don't know too much about French law or French people, but only French fries, to be honest with you. But in some places, like there's some states and stuff, when you are suing for damages like that, oftentimes there's just a number that you kind of have to put that is a minimum something, and then a jury or a judge, however it goes, will award you what they believed based on your pain and suffering, like whatever the damages that you were entitled to. So that 75 might not actually be his like full goal. It might just be kind of the required thing you put in for a certain lawsuit,
Yeah. And the last statement on it is his influence would have crumbled since the creation of Vantage Studios, which took charge of the Assassin's Creed series. He who until then had received his orders directly from the CEO, Yves Guillemot. So, I don't know. It's
what
not
a weird
really
name.
shocking.
Yves Guillemot. Is that how you say it?
Yves Guillemot is how you say the Ubisoft CEO's name.
At
least that's how I pronounce it. That's how I've always...
Guillemot.
I think it's Guillemot, or
Doesn't
at least
that sound
that's
more
how.
French? Guillemot.
I guess, sure. I mean, it doesn't fucking matter to me. One of us is saying his name wrong, and
well, we could both be
like
saying it wrong.
We could be, yeah. But as of right now, the former franchise boss is suing Ubisoft for $1.3 million in damages. This is like a shit person suing a shit company because he is still one of the people that was behind the failure of Assassin's Creed. It's not like he's some, oh my gosh, person who cared about the fans and cared about the series and respects the fans. He fucking doesn't. So, like, I'm not going to cry for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not. The whole thing's kind of funny, to be honest with you, but
man,
whatever.
It is what it is.
Get your money, like fucking retard on retard crime.
Yeah, it is. Juan Gal, thank you for the 5. Have y'all seen the Kling Motion Control AI tool? It is near perfection motion capture where I can see content creators or scammers scamming you. If you're talking about the ones of like the Indian guys as like fucking big titty white ladies and then like the Stranger Things ones, then yes, I have seen it. But if I think that is what you're referring to. It's wild.
And then Hypernaut says it's Eve Guillermo.
No.
And then
that's
someone
not how you say
says
it.
Jubei Yaguma says it's Guillermo.
Well,
Guillermo sounds like it.
Well, that does sound close. Either way, it is what it is. You know? Yeah, it's that. Okay, yeah. That's what I figured that AI tool was. It's.
I have seen that going around, and
yeah.
there's going to be a lot of retards that are tricked by that. So every day, people invent new ways to separate retards from their money.
Right. But guys, it's just about the time of the night where we wrap up the Fuck My Life episode number 22. Ryan, what are you up to? What have you been up to? What are your big fun plans?
I don't have too many fun plans in the future, just continuing my existence. So I don't know if I describe that as fun, but yeah, just more videos and live streams. I live stream on Sundays and Wednesday evenings. And then of course, Mondays, next Monday will be on my channel for Fuck My Life. We switch up every week. And I'm also on part of Geeks and Gamers. I'm over on Sports Wars. So yeah, that's about it.
Well spoken. Of course, guys, this is my main channel. My second channel, the review channel, is linked in the description. Monday nights, Fuck My Life. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, I stream video games. Then Wednesdays, the Vera and Virtue Show at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for the final donation of the night. Thank you, Vera, for carrying Ryan once again. I try my best. You know, it's tough. He's a bit of a retard at times, but, you know,
well, I feel the show is usually whoever's channel is it on. Like we're usually the ones selecting more of the topics.
Well, yeah.
And so we will carry each other, like depending on it, or be more in, like because we got all the stuff ready, we did all that. But yeah. Over on RK Outpost Live, I put out a 30-minute clip of me just ranting about George R.R. Martin's recent interview.
I have not seen it yet, so I have to take some time and listen to that.
It's just me calling him fat and gay and stupid. So
he is fat and gay and stupid, and he's a good writer when he writes.
He's an excellent writer.
I gotta be honest, I would rather him just not finish Winds of Winter and finish more Duncan Egg novels at this fucking point. I'd be fine with that. If Winds of Winter's too confusing, just drop it, man.
I found a blog post that he put out back in 2017 when people were asking him about other Game of Thrones adaptations or other like Song of Ice and Fire adaptations. He said, we're not doing Duncan Egg. Maybe I have so many more stories I want to write. You know, I have, 6, 7, maybe even 10 other stories I want to write. I don't want the same thing to happen to that happened to the main show Game of Thrones. Maybe when I've written all that I want to about Duncan Egg, we'll come out with a Duncan Egg show.
Right.
It's like, you fat fucking hypocrite piece of shit.
Yep, well, they were like, we need to make another Game of Thrones show. What do you want it to be? Just pick Robert's Rebellion at this fucking point. That's all people want.
Well, I would 100% watch Aegon's Conquest.
I would too, but it would have to be like a 4-hour movie.
I would want it to be a series.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like having some massive movie is better, but I don't know.
It does. You could do a 3-hour movie for it, but I would like it to be a series because I would like it to be more than Aegon's Conquest.
Yeah,
I would like to see.
You want to also see the other houses and like some kind of like overarching like story of like what's going on in.
I want to see the Doom of Valyria as the first fucking episode. 1 hour long first episode, Doom of Valyria.
Yeah,
and
that would be
get
cool.
a little bit of time on Dragonstone before the conquest happens and understand these dreams and like dig into all that shit that happens and then see the whole conquest and then see the aftermath of that. I want to see that my theory about Aegon not being the father of his children is like just peak irony for all these wars that are then fought and all these battles. Is like, oh, actually Aegon the Conqueror didn't have any trueborn children, because that would just it would actually fit in so well with like George's worldview of what he's trying to give us.
Well, we'll see if they ever make that $1 billion series, because that's what they would need for all of the CGI and the sets. That'd be expensive. It would be good though. Well, maybe it would be good. Who knows? But anyway, guys, that is about the end of the live stream. I, of course, appreciate you all being here. Next week, Fuck My Life over on Ryan's channel. Of course, all of his links are in the description if you are not already subscribed, following him. Also, his other channel, every episode is uploaded there as well, in case you want to watch a log of it. But thank you guys so much for being here the past few hours. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. And have a great rest of your evening, everyone.
Bye.